Alrighty, welcome back, Baker College Nation. We have a very strong match today. Going to be watching some Valorant. We have our PCL playoff round of top 16. We're up against the top seed coming out of the Big East. Um, they are eighth seed overall, and we are the ninth seed overall. Um, Definitely a very exciting game. Should be a very close game. We'll be able to see a lot of strong Valorant coming out of both teams. Um, Baker coming off of a good CVAL run in our division. We did just get top three, losing out in the lower final. An unfortunate reverse sweep. But on the bright side, though, we are qualified for the Collegiate Valorant Championships, and going to nationals for that. And then we are qualified also for the NECC Nationals LAN in Texas. So your Baker College Swarm will be traveling to Texas to, once again fight for another good showing in at nationals at a LAN. Last year, top eight in CECC. Also made the PCL LAN, or well, at the time was Play Versus. So a lot of exciting things have happened in Texas for us. So hopefully, that NECC run um can can be can be a good one. We do have the teams just starting to get ready into the lobby here. Looks like we will be playing Bind on the first map, or for the first map. Baker College starting on defense. Going to be um Baker College starting on defense, going to be just definitely going to be a tough start. Bind defense can be very difficult if you aren't getting active in those teleporters, for not getting the op out early. We just had a very tough showing on Bind against Northwood. So that is something to kind of look out here for. But I definitely know the Swarm is going to be wanting to bounce back here. Looks like we are just kind of holding off, waiting for the last bit of players to come in, and we'll be getting started. We do have Bind Breeze in the map pool. So Bind is their map pick. Breeze is our map pick. So hopefully being able to work some magic on Breeze again. Looks like we do have the last of the players coming in, so we should get started here soon. And yeah, just excited to get it going. This top 16 match is definitely something that we're gonna be wanting to win, of course. We have had historically pretty good runs. Last year we made it to, or sorry, in the fall we made it to top 8. And we had a great run at the Akron LAN. Losing out to a couple tough games against Fisher. Gonna be seeing the Instalock ISO here. Interestingly enough, maybe taking a little bit of the playbook, a little bit from the playbook of Northwood yesterday, putting one of our top shooters just on the ISO, wanting them to get activated, wanting to get free. It looks like, interestingly enough, a double initiator comp um, coming out from the enemy team. Does look like the Raze is definitely locked in. They're hovering Fade, hovering Sky. So they will have the flashes, will have the nade suck combo with both Fade and Raze. And yeah, that wall pressure is going to be incredibly important. Interestingly enough, though, Baker opting for the Cypher and the Clove here. So looking for a very comfort pick comp from the Swarm. Drago on the Clove, something that he's been historically good at across multiple schools. Last year, one of the big reasons we picked him up for this year from Siena Heights was due to some of the ways he got active on the smokes, right? And yeah, we're gonna get into the game here. Looks like we're gonna be playing ISO, Sky, Raze, Cypher, and Clove. No wall pressure from the side of the Swarm on A, which can make it a little bit easier for the defense to kind of stop whenever they do swap to that side. And we will see that Viper kind of be up against the Cypher here to see what is going to be best bet. Very aggressive comp coming from Baker. Gonna want to see them get activated early, take some fights early. We need to get this ISO on the line as quick as possible. But realistically, there's no one I want more on the ISO than Revenge. But yeah, gonna start here with a little bit of a flash to get some information on B long. Gonna trade some util there with the fade eye coming in. We're gonna see Swarm pretty comfortably set up on B, gonna then opt for a bit of a stack. Not gonna want anything to do with that. They are already shifting towards B, so it's gonna be very important here that Ladder Moves is gonna be able to maintain his sight, get that early info with the trip. Oh, the Viper getting a incredible kill on Drago. Demon gonna be able to equalize. It looks like they do have the read though after they get the kill on the Lurker. Gonna be rotating here, opting to rotate through the TP. Nade coming in. We're getting an execute here on site. They don't clear Ladder Moves. Ladder Moves good for 3. Revenge good with the cleanup. Beautiful stall from Ladder Moves, showing that Cypher that he was very fond of last year. And yeah, beautiful pistol round. Very close to flawless. Gonna be some judges coming out here on the side of Demon. It's been his favorite gun recently with the last couple matches. He's been getting pretty activated. Usually it's on the Neon, but the Rays can do the same job. Revenge gonna be pulling out the Odin ISO here. A little bit of a Kane Zera cosplay, and they're gonna be wanting to get the fights down short. I don't think that the attackers are anywhere near prepared for this. And yeah, it looks like the Clove going to be peeking out, trying to get some spam through the blocks. I don't think that fully spams, but could be wrong about that. Looks like the Viper is going to be lurking outside of B, lurking outside of Showers. A little bit of conditioning here from the side of the attackers, but it does not matter what you condition when you're pulling out the two of the cringiest guns in the game. You have the ISO with the Odin and then Raze with this Judge. Plant gonna go down, which is good for economy here, but it's looking like a 5v3. Odin coming out, Odin on the flank. Very difficult position to maintain in a post plant. ISO vulnerable coming out, so he's gonna show himself very early on the flank. Trying to get the spam kills, is on full HP, but Brim might have his number here. Demon good for 1 on the Sky, and yeah, it's looking insurmountable. Drago good with the Bucky, pulling out that double, shotgun setup. Revenge good on the Brimstone kill, and they're not going to be able to play that post plant. Flawless Baker College start on this anti-eco. It's exactly what you want to see. They're going to start building that economy up with the Odin coming out early and those and the Judge and the Bucky as well. They're going to be very economically strong, maybe able to chain in this bonus round and also 2 more rounds after here if they manage their economy well. If they go for the half armor here, it's going to be huge. And really the only one we have close to any ults here is Demon. So if he's able to get Orb, maybe get a kill or 2, that Raze Rocket's going to come online very early, and there's really nothing stopping St. John's from being able to do anything with that. Revenge good for 1, immediately traded though, but they're not anticipating this double stack. Little optics set up on short. Are they going to be anticipating that Demon is there? They do not, and Demon good for 3. Oh my days. The Judge already paying off its dividends. Gonna build up a massive economy because of that. Bonus round converted from Baker. That's exactly where you want to be. And we're gonna see if they're gonna be able to adjust from the attacker side. Yeah, they're gonna opt for not to force. Gonna see a little bit of an eco here. Full sheriffs, light armor. We have a sheriff with the full armor. Demon on that Razel already. So these next 2 rounds are gonna be very scary. we're gonna see that Raze ult come out. We're gonna be and realistically, wherever they identify that the Raze is, they're not gonna be really able to go unless they bait out the util fully. Oh, vulnerable coming in, vulnerable nade combo trying to catch the Sky. Sky playing a little bit far back, but the ISO vulnerable definitely got him off that dog. So very limited info being taken. Just early gunfights taken from both of the duelists on the side of Baker, and easy rounds so far. Very clean. Another flawless. They're going to continue being aggressive. We have Clove doing the walkthrough through bathrooms. Generally, like a pretty good protocol on this map. Team and taking an aggressive fight, taking it right to them. And yeah, they are not giving them an inch to breathe. Up 4-0. This is exactly where you want to be on this double duelist comp. Your ISO's activated, your Raze is activated, you have the Odin out, and realistically, this B has not been tested at all. The one round that they went B, ladder moves completely scared them off. They've been very, the attackers have been very focused on this short setup. And it's just not getting really a whole lot of value. Gonna see them, yeah, try something new, try something different, shift into this long take, be a little bit more external, trying to identify whether Baker is gonna be weak on those sides, but it's that Raze ult is gonna come in, and the crunch is coming in, or the retake from that space coming in from Demon. Not gonna get anything with a rocket, unfortunately, but doesn't need his ult when he's so good with the gun. Skydog coming in to re-clear the space, a little bait there, Latimer was able to get one, and we are just completely in control of the situation. Brimstone getting one, but Latimer's immediately responding in a 4v2. Bomb still in the side of the attackers, but Brimstone going down. It looks like they're gonna go for a knife. No, they do not. Hygien's just gonna play it safe, get the kill. Up 5-0. Bind looking clean.
That's a good run.
They're trading spaces. They're playing aggressive. That's exactly what we were kind of talking about in the pre-match. Wanting to make sure that the duelists are getting activated and the fights are being taken early. And this Odin has just been incredibly impactful, right? He's able to basically pepper them down. All of the damage that Demon can do with his utility is also incredibly important there. And ISO just is so strong with the Odin. It's very difficult because you need to break the shield, and then after you break the shield, still get a headshot. Which the time to kill on the Odin is so fast, right? That you're not. It's difficult to kind of chain all of that together unless you're like a very, very good player. Looks like they're opting for a little bit more of a default. Going back to the short pressure hasn't been paying off the whole, like, really that well for them. Demon gonna pull out the Odin, and he's gonna get the kill on the Viper, but immediately traded. But realistically, very valuable kill there on the Viper from Demon. Yeah, well, ISO vulnerable coming in. You're seeing Revenge just toy with them. He's taking every gunfight, spraying them down, but Sky gonna go ahead and sit them down. Crush is not happy with the ISO Odin antics, but oh my god, Hygien's good for one, Hygien's good for two, and he's so good on that B long position. Constantly able to get one. Such an impressive Sky. All right, up 6-0. Realistically, we're gonna need to see a timeout, maybe come in here, maybe see some adjustments, but really there's not much to say. Nothing's been really working. The short pressure definitely hasn't been, and it's so tough to take the short when you have both of these Odins just spraying you and mowing you down, right? Gonna see that Hijink so far, ladder moves so far, not a single death at all. Very dominant performance so far. Definitely expecting a little bit closer of a fight, definitely with the seeding positions, but it looks like Baker is out for blood. Baker is starting off strong, very, very activated. Looks like everyone is really aware of what they need to do, and they're just holding down those positions. But as I say that, immediate caster curse, Wonton able to get hijinks, Wonton able to get ladder moves, and that B site has been completely open. Deep or normal smoke gonna come through. Deep nade though to get a little bit of extra space. Odin's spam gonna come through the wall, but not really gonna get any value off of it. Getting back this elbow position is generally fairly good. There's not been a good postman, a couple off me's, but that Odin spam might be able to to do a little bit of damage before the full retake actually starts. But it's going to be so difficult. Yeah, good swings coming out. Unfortunately, not a great round on the side of Baker, and a very good post plant. Wonton able to start getting activated, and those ults are going to come online. Going to see the Brimstone ult, going to see the Viper ult, going to see the Sky ult. Very, very impactful ult. Sky ult a little bit less. Realistically, it's very easy to kind of start taking a little bit more space when you have that Sky ult and all those ults coming online. You also have the Fade ult coming online for next round, and really all that Baker has to work with is just the Clove ult, which, you know, isn't the most impactful ult. Even going to take those early gunfights. But Drago's the one that actually gets the kill. Demon able to kill Fade, immediate trades, and that Odin ISO going to mow down St. John's. This short pressure has just not been working. I think they were anticipating that maybe Baker was going to start filling some gaps in on the side of B, since that was really the only round they won. But not a great read from the side of St. John's in terms of what's going to happen. But 2v1 situation here. Brimstone is alone with ult, and Hijik's just so easy. Very, very, very clean aimer. Very calm in those 2v1 clutch situations. Alrighty, and St. John's gonna have 4 ults available here. If they're able to manage that ult economy a little bit better, they might be able to chain at least 2 or 3 rounds and maybe start breaking a little bit of that Baker economy. Gonna opt for the Force here, and yeah, they're gonna opt for the Force because of how many ults they have, right? The Fatal is gonna be very impactful here, but they're walking right into the fists of Demon, who's gonna be having that raise ult. If he sees them down short, I wouldn't be surprised if he ults, and he does. Able to get 2. Oh my god, Demon. So good with that raise ult. Whiffed the first one, but definitely a lot of value on the second. Demon on a 3K, unable to get the 4th, but Drago immediately gets the trade. St. John's is a tough situation. 4v1. Viper, it's not great positioning, not great value. Doesn't have bomb, which is a little bit better, and Revenge is low, but and he is able to get the kill on Revenge. Looks like they're gonna opt for a little bit of a showers crunch here. Sky gonna come through the TP, but Viper wants no part of that. And that Odin coming out, no damage so far, but we'll see if he's able to get anything working. It does look like they are thinking that he might be wrapping short. Not doing that at all. Drago opts to pop the Clove ult in the 2v1, wants to likely secure the round. Gonna chase him down, get a little bit of peppering on the Viper. Hijik's unfortunately gonna be the sacrificial lamb there, so Drago stays alive. Good ult coming from the side of Drago, just securing that dominance, securing that the 3v1 to make sure that St. John's isn't able to get anything going. Revenge now with the ult online. He likely is going to get so much value with this Odin plus the ISO ult. And yeah, we're going to see St. John's shift to a little bit more of B. B was pretty much the only thing that's worked so far, right? I mean, they at least got out on the pistol. They also got into a fairly good post-plant situation, but yeah, that Sky information is just so important. They're able to just get all of the info that someone's out there, then pop the ult. Hijik's opting to fight, gets 2, immediately traded by Fade, but ladder moves so good on that strong side.
1 enemy remaining.
And Demon just so fast behind them. Zero respect from Baker, just swinging them, very comfortable in the fights. Giving no respect to Sky, but a little bit of an aim labs moment coming out. Oh my god. But notably, the bomb is on B long with Revenge there, with his Odin, vulnerable, full kit. What a selfish ISO. But I do trust him in this position. He's going to give away his positioning going through the TP, but the Sky ult going to come out trying to secure the position of the ISO. Revenge has the read, and he is very low. Ooh, a little scary there because he opted to aim in, but beautiful, beautiful fight there. 9-1, such a dominating defense from the side of Baker. Realistically, it's tough because you want to see a timeout come out from the side of St. John's. Haven't been managing the ults great. I think Baker has been doing a really good job of getting the ults out, just making sure that they're not holding on to them for too long and just continuing the snowball, right? But Konami gonna start the max loss money gonna start hitting for St. John's. Baker just changing absolutely nothing. They just feel so comfortable in the standard setup. They don't need to do anything fancy. If you can't figure us out and you can't break us down, then we're just gonna continue the Great Wall of B and just these Odins. Ladder move's good for 1. Immediately gets traded, but Demon and Hydrant's good for theirs. Demon gets 2. 3K on the line, and Revenge just so gross with that Odin. Just incredible with the Odin. That's something that he's been working on a lot this year, so it's starting to pay dividends, and it's starting to give him his frags, which is great. He started working on that like early in the fall when he was playing a little bit more of Scan Initiator, and he's really been able to dominate that gun. And with ISO, just the Odin is just insane. If you're not able to play effective trades, he's just going to continue chaining those shields together, and you're just not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, this is a very dominant performance so far from the Swarm. Yeah, and still same setup. Vulnerable coming in. Ooh, takes a lot of damage from the nade. Ladder moves. Oh my god, just rips Wonton's head off. Nothing on the ice wall. Completely wrong read on that. So whiffs a little bit. Still good for his at least.
Smoke.
And they're gonna decide to execute on A, but Drago has the op there.
Down
Oh my lord, so quick with it. 3v2 though, post-plant situation, we're gonna see. Oh, but the bomb isn't, the Viper isn't in a position to where they can plant it, so they're gonna have to plant the bomb, and oh my god, it doesn't even matter. Oh, 11-1/2. Oh my days.
Switching sides.
Very dominant performance from Baker. Having fun, getting out all of the silly guns, all of the very tilting guns, and if it's something that you haven't experienced before, that generational trauma from the side of the judge from the Odin can definitely hit a little hard, right? Baker gonna shift to the attack side. Arguably, their comps should be a little bit better on the attack side. So that dominant defense is going to show again. They're gonna opt for the short take and short fight. Gonna see the Brimstone playing the fast rotation on the side of St. John's here. Stuck in a 2-1-2, but the execute coming in from Baker, and they just do not care. They're just mowing them down, but Wonton giving them something that they need to respect. Gonna swing through the smoke or sit in the smoke to make it really uncomfortable here. Revenge good for 1. Oh, Hydrant's not aware of him being in the smoke. Ladder moves good for 1. Oh my god, whiffs coming around from all sides. Little bit of an aim-lapse moment, but in the opposite that time. In a 3v2,
one enemy remaining.
Pretty comfortable. Revenge so good. Oh my lord. And yeah, 0 respect. They're gonna chase him down. Does have the molly in hand, which is gonna be good. Obviously not use it. Drago is taken down in a little bit of a scary 2v1, but Revenge, good. Always generally good for 1, and there it is. Just quick little swing, quick little peek, and we're on to match point from the side of the Swarm.
Match point.
If you were saving your energy for the end, this is it.
Yeah, and Demon 20-10. Oh my lord. What a dominant performance. Revenge also on a 2 KD. Pretty much everyone on a double or triple KD except for Drago, who likely is calling, so it kind of makes sense. It's always a little bit difficult to kind of frag from that IGL spot, but Duelist incredibly activated early on. We're getting a very dominant performance here. It's looking clean. Early info on the side of the sky. They're going to shift the stack here, but the dog is able to clear so far in that they just feel comfortable completely taking. Skyflash going to come through for back sight. Going to notice that there's a completely open site, but this elbow position might be a little bit annoying from the side of St. John's for the Swarm post plant. But Baker getting into really good post-plant positions. Revenge able to get one. Crush gets the immediate trade, though. But Hijinks going for a play on elbow. Sat down. Oh, my days. Revenge does not care, but is forced to show respect. Crush getting an insane amount of kills. Cypher in, or Ladder moves in a 1v2. Time running low, so if he's able to just get them off the bomb, it's going to be very difficult. Not the greatest of situations. Cam going to get the tag.
One enemy remaining.
Able to get one, able to get
Clutch.
two. When, oh my days, what a
Attackers
beautiful
win.
clutch. 13-1, incredibly dominant performance.
Average.
Yeah,
My God.
nothing to say about that. Incredibly dominant performance from the Swarm. Especially on St. John's map pick. Now we're going into Breeze, which yesterday against Northwood was a very easy, or not easy, but it was a very strong, dominant performance. The attack side was good, defense side was good, which is generally going to be a little bit more of the difficult side. And yeah, it's Bind has been a little bit of a struggle this semester, but looks like the Swarm have started to figure out. You just need to get your duelist activated really early on, get that Odin out, get everything that's going to make the map difficult for the enemy team, right? Looks like they are gonna, or it looks like the Swarm is starting on attack side. St. John's on the defense side. No timeouts have came out of the side of St. John so far, but definitely something that you want to utilize to kind of stop the snowball, right? Once St. John's wasn't able to figure out the short take on their attack side, it became a little difficult. Looks like we're going to go directly back into the actions. Both teams excited to get back into it. The Swarm obviously wanting to keep that momentum, kind of keep the foot on the jugular, and that's always going to be that momentum you're going to want to keep up. On the side of St. John's, looks like they're hovering the Jet, hovering the Neon, double initiator. They've been opting for this double initiator with Sky in a reveal. Didn't look great on Bind. Could be a little bit more effective on Breeze, but I was gonna say the solo Viper these days on Breeze is definitely not something that you're seeing. Most teams have pretty much figured out that you can play solo Astra or you can play double controller, and generally the double controller is going to be the most optimal comp. Looks like we're gonna see on the side of Baker just complete chaos and mayhem. Drago on the Jet, pulling out the Harbor, pulling out the Gecko, pulling out an Omen from the side of Revenge. Hijinks on the Sova. I think they're gonna try to do some cringy send the wingman in to plan in the Harbor Cove, and while the Harbor Cove is reinforced. Hijinks might be opting for the chamber here. Solo smokes Omen is definitely not something that you see on this map. The definitely most meta comp is going to be coming out of the side of St. John's, right? A lot of teams and challengers are playing this comp, so it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to adapt to something that you don't really see often, which is a Gecko Harbor. Harbor generally in a fairly good spot for this map, though. Kind of can act as a Viper, but I think Demon is just feeling himself. Realistically, I don't think the agent matters here. Let's see if he's good for a 30 bomb here too, or close to a 30 bomb. I think he kind of ran out of rounds, but he was definitely on a heater on the first one. Yeah, we're gonna see that very standard 2-3 setup coming out, or 3-2 depending on the way your map is aligned. 3 on A, 2 on B. Jet is gonna hold mid, and you're gonna see both of the duelists get activated on mid, so it's gonna go from a 3-2 into a 1-2-2, where you're gonna have the Viper on B, kind of anchoring it down with a fast rotator. This Jet might take the peek down elbow, which is something that is very common. Jet is very good in that position, yeah, especially with the D. Gonna feel very comfortable doing that, but opts for the mid walk down. Gonna play rotator, and oh my days, the Swarm just so fast. Already out on site, broke the choke. A very minimal util coming in. Viper able to catch a timing because Drago didn't fully clear, but immediately killed, and that momentum from the first map is gonna continue. 4v2 post plant situation. Neon with a ghost, generally fairly good, but I know the Swarm has some sheriffs. Good for one, very clean shot on Demon. But the post plant might be a little tough here. But oh, mistake from Hijinks coming in. TP'd elbow. Drago with the sheriff though gets one. Time running low.
Last player standing.
Gets him to half though. 55 HP. As long as ladder moves plays fairly disciplined and slow and just throws utility, there's pretty much nothing that he can do. Yeah. Gecko Flash coming in. He got him off. Astra goes for the knife, but unable to get anything off of that. Ladder move's gonna die, but fairly clean pissed around. I mean, they've almost immediately broke the choke, sort of taking fights just because they can. Might be a force coming out of the side of St. John's. Generally a little tough to force on the defense side of Breeze, especially if force on the defense side of Breeze 100%. The attacker side force is generally pretty good because the bomb sites are easy to kind of crack, but yeah, it's looking tough. I think they're trying to like stall a little bit of the bleeding, just because I mean it's been close to 14, I don't know, 12, 13 unanswered rounds from the side of Baker. Demon good for one, and that St. John's defense is starting to immediately get picked off. There is a shorty, I believe, in the corner, which may be a little bit annoying. Good little TikTok timing coming from the smoke, but bomb is likely going to go down, and that makes it a little bit more uncomfortable. Nice little smoke tech there from the side of St. John's, but stuck in a 1v3, it's going to be very difficult. It doesn't matter how cute you are when you are in that situation with a 1v3. And yeah, Drago just so fast on killing him, giving the Astra no space to breathe. They're fighting them in A main, trusting that no matter what happens, Chamber and Hijinks is going to be able to get that pick. So far, very dominant 2 rounds, keeping the tempo very high, a little bit of tempo conditioning coming out of the side of Baker, making the enemies have to respect the speed of play, and that'll make it so much easier to throw fakes in the future. That was something that was part of the game plan yesterday against Northwood, right? We ended up going for a B exec, and then ran the B fake just to kind of put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, so that they feel the need to over-rotate, and it paid its dividends. At one point, the Swarm was up 6-0. Northwood able to get back in it, but you know, obviously the other team is going to play as well. Mid take again. Crush able to get his, this time on the Neon and not the Initiator. So definitely a little bit different of a playstyle coming out. Going to be a lot more in your face, and definitely different from the Sky. Revenge might be able to catch a timing here, but they likely heard him. Going to get into that window position. Yeah, Wonton is incredibly aware, and oh my days, sits Revenge down. Nice shot coming out of the St. John's Jet. Hijinks able to get a tag very low, but yeah, this round is starting to break down very quickly. Taking a lot of 1v1s, maybe that confidence being a little bit too high right now. Everyone wanting to take their gunfights, continue the mechanical dominance that they've been showing. Crush is going to get a really good little crunch here on the mid site. Oh, Draco good for one, but yeah, it's looking very difficult. Nice shot from the side of ladder moves. Bomb not going to be able to go down. Scam going to come in, able to get somehow another one. Pretty good bonus though. Good damage. Took the armor off of the Astra. Killed 3. I mean, that's exactly what you want on your bonus. Already starting a little bit of mid conditioning. Putting pressure on double doors, making the Neon feel like she can't peek that mid position. So solid round so far, and solid macro from the side of Baker. Definitely a map that they feel comfortable on, and it's been the map choice the last couple of games.
See you on the other side.
We'll see if Baker's able to go ahead and just continue that dominance on the B site. Yeah, Gecko going to come down, going to be able to not clear Viper at all. Viper good for 1, but immediately traded. But that's a lot of the times all you need to do as a site anchor, right? You want to get yours, stall out a little bit. Unfortunately, the plant going to come in from the side of Baker. All these smokes are just so annoying. Demon tries to take a timing through the smoke, unable to get any value off that.
One enemy remaining.
And yeah, it looks like St. John's is starting to get a little activated. But as I say that, a little bit of a caster curse. Ladder move's good for 2. Still has full kit, has everything. This Gecko Molly's going to be incredibly important. Knows he's sticking through it. Sending the wingman in. Wingman not able to climb over the ledges. Kind of toying with him. Very low on time. Does have half though. As long as he gets him off, he's good. Oh my days. What a nice shot, but it does not matter. Latimer's able to toy with him, stall enough time to be able to just go ahead and close that round out for the Swarm. Not a massive amount of ults coming online here. We're gonna see the Astral, which is generally good for the retakes. Demon gonna be close to that Harbor ult, which is always incredibly impactful. The big wave causing the not only the smoke pressure, but also it has the ability to blind if you don't dodge it. So that's always going to be very annoying. Yeah, and the Swarm is going to opt to go ahead and take that A main space, likely get the orb, go for the A hit off of that, and just just continue to keep that tempo going. Wonton trying to get a peek, trying to get the kill, but yeah, it's very, very difficult, especially when you have so many Baker players. But as I say that, Crush able to get one on mid. The split is already broken down, but Baker has a fairly good position on site, but Wonton does not care. Sits Demon down. Revenge able to get his trade. Gets a little bit of an upgrade. Revenge gets the kill on Crush with a little bit of help from Ladder Moves. Ladder Moves going for the plant. Good on Astra. Cry. Making Baker cry a little bit, but yeah, not enough. Clean little shot coming from the side of Revenge. 4-1 dominant attack side from Baker so far. On a comp that definitely not the most meta thing. I think sometimes you can be very caught off guard by these off meta picks, especially when you're already kind of getting dominated on map 1, right? It makes it so that the tilt factor is even higher, especially if they're not taking it super serious, while also, or in terms of the comp, right? While also then kind of running you down and putting a lot of pressure on you. It takes a lot of resilience. It takes a lot of just mental fortitude to be able to kind of bounce back. Smoke's coming out, both on mid. Drago takes the updraft over the top, fight on Wonton, able to get one, map immediately opens. Oh, and this is a very nice timing from the side of Revenge. They are expecting it, yeah. That's the power of the Omen. The TPs are very good. But nothing really to pressure the site. Everyone taking kind of 1v1s, and St. John's able to capitalize on that. And Astra gonna be good for his with the Stinger. Demon falls, and second round on the board, doubling up for the side of St. John's. The Harbor ult coming online though, gonna be very difficult to defend against, especially on the A site. The only tough thing though is that the angles on the A site are a little difficult to actually get the Harbor ult down. You might want to even utilize it just to get onto the site, and then just stop the wave.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, and the Silva ult coming in. This is a really good little set play coming from the side of St. John's. Good for one, Crush good for another. Drago gets the trade. Oh, and 2 for 2 trade on A main. The Silva ult actually did get a lot of value. That play was really good. The Neon Stun came in, all that stuff. Drago is at 1 HP, trying to take a timing, but Cry is making the Swarm cry right now. In a 2v3, Omen ult up. However, Omen ult in the post plant, not the greatest thing on the planet. Gonna opt to use it to reposition onto mid, get maybe a little bit cheeky timing on the mid. Hijinx is aware of this flank coming in from the side of Viper, but does not know how far or how fast the flankers came in. Likely gonna get crunched, whiffs the op shot, and Revenge in a 1v3. Bomb not planted for him. Able to get one, likely gonna get stuck, and he tries to swing because he's rushed, and Adian gonna go ahead and sit him down. Couple of rounds chained together from the side of St. John's, gonna looking a lot better, looking a lot cleaner, and this Baker attack side is starting to dwindle down. They try to keep the tempo very high at the beginning, might need to slow down a little bit, but they can't even slow down now because they're on an eco, right? They're gonna need to keep that tempo up to kind of break the gun advantage that that St. John's has in this round, but gonna opt for a 5-0 B hit. Little not historically been working really well. Trying something new though with Revenge blinding the left side, which is good. Harbor ult gonna come out, not gonna get the tag on the Jet back site. Wonton able to get 2. Demon gonna try to get the trade. Shooting a lot of bullets and not able to get Wonton at all. Yeah, that B site hold is incredibly strong from the side of St. John's. B site so far has been closed. Great stuff coming from the Viper, the Astra, the Jet that have been playing kind of towards that B site to help anchor the space.
Go.
Yeah, and it looks like Baker trying to maintain that same tempo, maybe throwing Revenge to the Wolves to try and throw a fake or get him some spacing on elbow. Oh no, never mind. They're going to they're gonna shift into the default. I was gonna say they definitely need to slow the game down. They're playing a little bit too fast, and St. John's is starting to kind of start to get a little bit aware of the tempo and just kind of be able to play at that speed. Oh my god, beautiful timing from the side of the Astra of St. John's, able to catch a kill on Drago.
Spike down A.
And St. John's getting into this game.
Blocking vision.
4v2 from the side of St. John's, an advantage. Revenge gonna try to make something happen here on A main. Immediately gets sat down by Crush. It looks like Crush on the Duelist is getting a lot more activated. Sometimes it's difficult on Bind, on Split to get activated as a Sky, but the Duelist looks clean. He's getting a lot of value. Utility's good. The stun on A main was really good. He's getting the frags. Is exactly what you need. Neon ult is coming up. And completely broken by here from the side of Baker. Opting to force still. Gonna need to maybe take a little bit of a break on the forces, because they're basically on 3 rifles, a Bulldog, and then Hijinks technically on a Guardian with the Chamber Deagle. That Q ability kind of giving him the one-shot headshot potential, and also giving the ability to zoom in. Gonna take a fight onto Crush. Aware of the mid, but not aware of this walkout. Revenge able to get 1. Crush good for 2 though, anchoring this A site incredibly. Good util coming from the side of him, utilizing the pyramids to kind of maintain that backside hold and use them as a way to kind of rebound between 2 fights, right, and isolate those 1v1s. Harbor Molly gonna come in. Drago good on the kill. Good on the kill for Crush, and we're gonna see a 3v3 post plant. Viper ult and Astra ult come online though, which are generally really good ults. For the retakes, nothing really on the side of Baker, just the Jet Knives, which he's obviously not going to pop unless it gets dicey, and he feels like he needs to take a little bit more fights. Good retake util coming from the side of St. John's. Drago on this backside, very annoying though, able to get 2. Oh my days, Drago. Showing why he should have been on the Duelist this entire time. Yeah, those Jet Knives are gonna be popped out. Oh lord. 5 HP in a Dream, and the Dream is able to be completed. Beautiful round from the side of Baker. A little bit dicey on the post plant, but you know, that it doesn't matter when Jet can just jump at you and right click you with all their knives. Let's see how Baker's able to utilize this Omen ult. Maybe a stick into spawn with a little bit of a crunch on B might be an interesting little play here. Something they've done before on other maps. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna get that much value. One, not good for the first op shot. Whoa, good for the second, giving him too much space to breathe. Opts to use the knives. Hijinks good for the trade though. 4v4 onto B site. Hijinks good for another one. Beautiful shots coming from the side of Hijinks on a 2K. Demon able to get the kill on Crush.
One enemy remaining.
2v4, now 1v4 post plan, and Revenge just so good with the shots. 6-5 attack half on the side of Baker.
Last round
Likely
before the
gonna
switch.
wanna maybe get one more. The 7-5 is gonna feel a lot better than a 6-6 going into the defense side. This attack is this map is fairly attack sided. Even with the new changes with Hall and all that stuff, it's just so big that the rotations take forever to come through, especially if you're not establishing that mid control. Looks like it's going to be a 4-1, 4-man default into mid, trying to put a lot of pressure on this Neon. Neon going to try to get a play going, but immediately sat down. Cry good for the trade, though. This mid fight is really been effective for St. John's. Wonton good for
mid.
one. Wonton good for one. Revenge gets the trade. In a 3v2, Revenge very weak. Astra in this game and getting warmed up. 6-6 half, little bit scary. Going into the defense side, I don't see that Baker's comp is the best in terms of maintaining spaces. You can do a little bit of conditioning with the Harbor, right? And the Cove plus Gecko retake is really strong generally. And this Omen can do a lot of damage on the A main space. With his Omen blind and just the one way that he throws on the box, right? But yeah, very different showing here in terms of maps, in terms of scoreline, right? Very dominant bind coming from the side of Baker. Very different storyline here, much closer and kind of something that we were more so expecting, especially with the teams being seeded so closely, right? We have a 8 seed in PCL versus 9 seed in PCL. St. John's opting for the split here, aware of the flank, but Draco good for one, but the Viper on mid, that Sheriff is going to do so much damage. Yeah, and this B-site hold is going to be incredibly difficult. Demon or Hijinx going to get pinched from all sides, not able to hold his site. Revenge immediately in a 1v4. 2 players are low though, so this is possible. Let's see if he's able to get the first one. He's good for the first one. Has the ghost. Astra's still weak, but it's very difficult to win this post plant. They have all the post plant utility they need in the world, right? They have the Astra pull, they have likely the Viper Molly, or actually no, they won't have the Viper Molly because Viper's on a deke, but a lot of post plant utility here. Revenge gonna get spammed out, able to get one on a Cry, beautiful shot, but Astra immediately getting the trade. And yeah, for the first time in a long time, we're seeing St. John's in the driver's seat. Going to be in this fairly clean situation. Little bit of a anti-eco here. Drago opting to pull out the Sheriff. Demon opting to pull out the Bucky or the Sheriff, which is always going to be very annoying. We saw the value of those shotguns, but generally, I think the big issue that Baker's been having is they're not able to get these shotguns out on Breeze, right? The map is extremely big. The retakes are very difficult. It's very different macro than Bind, of course. We're gonna see Hijinx take a little bit of a timing on the Viper and Elbow, but he is rotating in to help the B-site hold. Hijinx on backside, not able to get anything going, and Wonton good for 2. So a lot of pressure coming from the side of ladder moves. They are completely aware. Astra not giving his position either, so they're not aware of the Astra sitting on there, invading his entire team. And yeah, Drago completely unaware. Revenge going to try and get something going with a very uncomfortable smoke, but Adian is just does not care. He's just like so disrespectful. Able to get a little bit of a headshot on Crush. But yeah, two round differential now coming from the side of St. John's. It's looking like Baker is very much so struggling on this defense. I would like to get an op out. I would like them to get the Odin out. Those were things that were very effective for it. At least the Odin was. And they're running both Jet and Chamber. Both of those should be able to get a lot of value with the op, right? But it doesn't look like they're going to have the amount of money that they need for it. Chamber's shifting onto A this time around. Gonna opt for a little bit of an elevated off angle. Very uncomfortable angle, but he's not going to see anyone on A main at all. They're just completely ignoring them. They're bullying this mid space, which is so good to do on this map. Wonton able to get a pick on Demon, and it's just up to Revenge to be able to to stop the St. John's run. Revenge good for a kill on Cry, able to maintain at least the backside position, but site completely taken. St. John's keeping the tempo fairly high, abusing this mid space, doing a really good job of it. In a completely different team. They look very aware of what they're trying to do, but Baker so good with the shots onto St. John's. 3v2 post-plant position. I think it's realistically a 2v2. I think Hijinks lagged out. Ladder move's gonna be good on this flank. Hijinks gets one in a 1v1. Very low HP, but oh, Wonton. I believe good for 4 on that round. Beautiful sight hold and just clutch. Little unfortunate there from the side of Hijinks to kind of face that network error or face that connection issue, especially in such a pivotal round. But obviously that's kind of the tough thing, right? Like when you're competing, you kind of need to be able to manage the emotions of when things like that happen. And yeah, just such a dominant run from the side of St. John's.
Let's go.
I think a lot of things that Baker was doing in the first map is just very difficult to do on Breeze, and I think they got a little too confident with the comp here. Revenge going for a little Psalm play. Let's see if he's able to get his Revenge able to get one nice little kill from Hijinks in a 4v3 man advantage situation. Demon unable to site. That B site just paper thin right now. Just B site is Swiss cheese.
One enemy remaining.
But ladder moves good for 2 on the flank. Cry able to get the trades here, make it equalize. Oh, and Draco, a little scary on the first 2 shots. A lot of shots fired, couple warning shots, but able to get the headshot and put Baker in a winning position again. Feels like it's been a little bit of a minute since we've been talking about a Baker win here. Demon going 3-15, not where you want him to be at, especially with how confident he was in the first map, right? On that raise, he was just absolutely bullying the side of St. John's. Might need to be, if it goes to map 3, see him back on that duelist. But we'll see how this goes. St. John's going to play a main. Hijinks with the op-out, yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see. He's going to continue to show, going to continue to pressure. Gets the trade, but I don't think Drago's going to get cleared here. Yeah, he's able to get the timing, able to get the kill, but not enough. Cry good for 2. 3v2, about to be a post-match situation, but will be a little bit uncomfortable. I do not know what Revenge has in his mind on that situation, though. TPing on that box might be one of the most insane plays I've ever seen. And not in a good way. Demon not getting those shots going. 10 for the side of St. John's. I think that the strong showing on Bind might have caused a little bit of overconfidence from the side of Baker. Maybe should have opted to just go for a more standard comp, maybe pull out the ISO again, let Revenge get those frags. He's playing pretty decent on the Omen, but Demon just in a completely different role in this scenario, and just not getting the value he needs. Harbor very difficult of an agent to frag on. He's kind of a utility bot, helping out the team, and it's just not great. Stun gonna come in reaction to the dart being broken. Revenge good for 1. Drago also good for 1. In a number situation again. They're starting to get activated, starting to wake up a little bit. Broke the chamber trip on A. They now know that he's in A main. Gonna try to maximize the amount of orbs. He's able to get 1. We have the Viper ult coming online for next. Even if he dies, also Viper ult coming online for next. Revenge with these TPs thinks he's Flex Ninja. Clearly not. Draco tries to get the trade. Clearly can't. In a 1v2 situation. Very scary, but Hijinks able to clean up. So thankful, very thankful for Hijinks from the side of all Swarm fans. Able to kind of clean up a little bit of the trolls. And those kind of confidence plays coming into A main. But that's sometimes the stuff you need, right? Like, you need to be a little bit confident. You need to get the flex going. You need to start breaking down the mentals of the enemy team. this Viper wall has been conditioned on B so frequently with that fast tempo from the side of St. John's that I like it a lot just because it cuts off the rotators from mid. And it makes it very uncomfortable for them. 1-3-1 going to be opting for the 1-3-1 here, going for a fast split, taking a lot of space. It looks like they know exactly the way they want to play this map. Demon getting bullied, very low HP. Clutch good for 1 on ladder moves. Revenge gets the trade though. Demon good for 2. Starting to get a little activated 4v2 situation for the Swarm. And it looks like Astra's going to slow it down, going to let Viper take the next timing. But Revenge is just continuously on their necks, just not letting them get any breath. And Hijinks good on the kill on Viper. Now Astra in a 1v4. Demon weak, but still a difficult situation to be in. This timing is incredible from the Astra. Very unfortunate for Demon. Just barely timed Revenge. A lot of whiffs coming in on the side of the B main from both Revenge and the St. John's Astra. But Baker good to clean up, starting to get that momentum going, and a little bit of confidence starting to be built back up from Demon, right? He was 3-15. This was something that we saw against Northwood yesterday. Started off a little slow on Breeze, but as soon as he got activated, it really started to snowball. He really started to bully them. Got a couple kills there. Now 5-17. Carlos or Drago on 20-15, top frag, getting a lot of value on this Jet so far. Let's see if the Swarm can continue to kind of do that damage. Demon gonna have to hold this site completely alone with not really that much util to stall. Ult coming out to completely separate St. John or Wonton from his teammates on St. John. Wall coming in as well. The smoke layering and the ult usage is so good right now. Demon is definitely starting to get a little bit more comfortable on that harbor, getting activated on the B site, getting his frags, playing the trades. And yeah, it looks like St. John's is going to opt to continue pushing the B main space. Has been historically good for them, right? Like in this match, Demon just so good, activated, and is now basically closing down that B site. St. John's not with a lot of space, not with a lot of utility, not with a lot of guns. Demon gonna opt to go for this shorty in the smoke. Gonna be very annoying. And these shorties are coming out. Oh no! Oh, but somehow able to get 2. Oh my days! 4v1 situation. Is 80 and able to clean it up. Ladder moves very aware of his positioning. Ladder moves weak though, but so good. And that's gonna be map tied for the side of the Swarm. St. John's was starting to really build up a lot of rounds, but so far pretty much 3 to 4 unanswered rounds from the side of Baker. Kind of going back to that bread and butter tried and true B hit from the side of St. John's. I don't know if this is necessarily the answer. The mid defaults have actually been really scary for the side of Baker. And especially with Demon starting to show that he is able to hold that site with the help of Hijinks, with the trap coming in. It's very difficult. Jet coming in. They're not going to clear close right. And Hijinks good for 2. Jet on the back site. Hijinks good for 3. Hijinks good for 4 on the ace, but 30 HP. Knows exactly where Viper is. Viper is super low HP. And denies him that ace. 8 HP though, going to be very difficult. Yeah, and ladder move's just going to go ahead and get that one little body shot, which is all it takes to sit him down from that position. Gecko ult going to come in. Omen ult going to come in. Those fast rotations are going to be fairly good. And it's going to be strong sight pretty much everywhere with that Omen ult. Opting to fight A main since they have that fast rotation on the B. And let's see, St. John's once again trying to fight through this B main hold, but I think Baker has kind of figured it out. Shifting the trap onto the left side due to all of the utility that's coming in from the side of St. John's. Good little adaptation. Wall coming in late. Dart coming in, Execute coming in. Hijinks already on the rotation. Oh, beautiful shot from Hijinks, and his trip is really annoying here because they're not able to clear that backside position. Demon feels very, very comfortable, and Hijinks in that smoke, just sitting in there with a shorty, being so annoying. Able to get another one. Demon swings through on a timing, gets one immediately traded, and we're in a 3v2, but the Gecko is coming out. Oh no.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, but the ult missed. Still able to get the kill though, but he just saw his leg and then whiffed the ult onto the Sova, but still able to get the kill. So nothing too crazy. The Swarm on match point now. Hoping to close it out here. A little bit of a broken buy from the side of St. John's. If they win this round, and they're still in kind of a uphill battle, right? At this point, the win bonus has been just so consistent. So many rounds chained together from the side of the Swarm. Everything they have in their tool belt, multiple people on max money, and it's looking very tough. Little play there coming from the side of Drago and Revenge, trying to get an Omen Blind into a peek. 2 kills on the other side from Hijinks and Ladder Moves, putting Baker in a 3v3 with Wonton on 5 HP. It's gonna be a little tough. Harbor ult coming in, all of the utility coming in. Crush still able to get one though, which is very good. Ladder Moves on very low HP in a 2v1. They are very weak, but not as weak as Ladder Moves. Gonna have to play around this pillar. Whiffs the first shot. Crush very weak, but yeah, gonna be a little difficult. And yeah, just very close game, very close match here. Might be seeing an OT. It looks like St. John's has definitely woken up. Yeah, all those ults are coming online. It's going to be very scary, right? They have the jet knives to basically be a rifle. They have their Viper ult. They have the Sova ult. If they're able to get on the site, this is going to be extremely uncomfortable from the side of the Swarm on their retake. I believe they are starting to identify. There's a couple of just rage swings coming in from the side of Baker on A site, so they're going to want to take the fight to them. Omen Blind's likely going to come in. Looks like they're setting up a little bit of a trap play. Gets the blind onto Wonton. All that's really needed. Sova ult gonna come in, gets a tag, not able to fully convert at all on the Sova ult. But Viper good to get the immediate trade, and Revenge in a elevated position here. Going to be a little bit annoying for the attackers, especially if they set up this crossfire here. Ladder Moves has the cross from mid. A couple of over rotations though will leave the Swarm very heavy on A with a full retake setup on B. No, just a chamber trip. If St. John's is able to get onto that site and get the Viper ult down, it is going to be very, very uncomfortable to retake on. They don't have the best utility to really press out. St. John's. He full sticks the TP. What is that? Yeah, in an immediate numbers advantage situation.
Rounding sight.
Numbers advantage situation from the side of St. John's. Ladder Moves able to equalize it out. Viper ult still up.
Left.
But Ladder Moves has bomb on A main. Demon good for one, immediate trade. Viper ult still up, playing in those duos, but Ladder Moves playing this so well, able to just take the full amount of space, knows exactly where they are, and then just playing full time. They have to go through him. If he's able to get one, if he's able to get anything, it's going to be a very difficult round. Yeah, and it is pretty much over. Impossible to get the plan off, impossible to get the kill so far, and we're going to see a Swarm win here.
Defenders win.
Very clinical and very clean on the bind. Spree's a little bit of a harder fight. Normally a better showing, but I think the comp also did not do them a service. And yeah, beautiful little 2-0 from the side of Baker, wanting to continue this momentum onto this later half of the spring season. We are in a beautiful position. Already qualified for NECC, qualified for CVAL champions as well. Starting to make a little bit of a deep run into the PCL playoffs, now in top 8, and so we're in a beautiful spot. Believe that depending on how the bracket ends up, looks like we might be playing Harrisburg in our next PCL match if they are able to win. Very big grudge match, and something that a rival that the Baker Swarm is not is not going to be able to take lightly, right? They're going to have to be a little bit locked in. Very strong historical teams coming from the side of Harrisburg. But yeah, overall beautiful showing from the side of Baker. Nice little clean 2-0 and just continuing the win. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We are so excited to continue to cast to bring you guys just a little bit of commentary. But yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll be seeing you guys in our next game.